This one carries a gun, other one carries boxing gloves. Actually, I should say a weapon.
America is a
because of
nation
military.
that can be defined in a single word. I was going to excuse me.
Sounds like me.
It may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens.
I don't care.
Regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
This is your victory. Now, I know you didn't do this just to win an election. I know you didn't do it for me. You did it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
You're not going to believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, up in the corner,
Skin man, villain in disguise.
They have been voted best podcast to come out of the closet to. It's the Middle of the Road podcast with TJ and Coach Casey. Today, we are joined in studio by special guests Josh and Kevin from the Art Assault Project. How's it going, fellas?
Art Assault Project.
it was podcast. It's
like
okay.
that.
He
I
messes
like
them up
that.
occasionally. Everything up to that part was smooth.
I love it.
I'm
No,
glad you call it. Is a project.
It
It's
is
an
a
ongoing
project. I was thinking more of the what was those? You know, where those people disappeared and they ended up in bulkheads of ships.
The projects. Oh,
Oh, that was the,
You know, it starts with an L.
yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know what he's talking
lost.
about either. That's okay. I was just going to sit here and let these two figure it out. That would have been a good 20 minutes of filler.
Lazarus? I think it was the Lazarus Project.
So we're about 10 minutes away from
think that was
TJ.
Sloan.
Who knows?
We're about 10 minutes away from TJ joining us.
Philadelphia Project.
Yeah,
I
the
think-
Philadelphia Project. You're right.
There we go.
Yeah, we keep interrupting him.
That's
yeah,
a-
the Philadelphia Project. not
I do it all
Lazarus.
the time. I constantly cut people
This
off.
is what I got to deal with.
I know. I listen to your show. We'll get into it.
You cut me off too. That's how our whole show works, man.
Today is 5/30, 2023. I'm Coach Casey. I'm joined in studio by some special guests. Josh, which I plugged the heck out of the show. I was on with him with the Art Assault podcast when Kevin was gone.
Was that out doing fairy business?
Yes, and I actually wrote that down on my notes here, that I owe you an apology, and you may not even know it, because I literally sat down with Josh and made fun of those guys that go play fairies at Comic-Con, and then literally, it wasn't even necessarily that words exactly, but then he follows up with, "Hey, that's where Kevin's at today," and I said, "Oh, I'm sure he's a great guy." So I owe you an apology. Josh and Kevin do the Art Assault podcast Sunday nights at 6 p.m. on the Talking Beards Network. And then Josh also does another show for music lovers only Saturday nights at 6. I catch him every time I can. It happens to be like this week I sat at, on Saturday we were sitting in, Carlos O'Kelly's listening to you guys do the show.
I can't even remember what it was this week.
You need to get closer to the mic.
Yeah, you're going to have to get into that mic like you want to make love to it.
Come on, you were a death metal vocalist. You know how to do it.
Yeah, pretend you're singing on a band here. So
I forgot. That was a lifetime ago.
we do a different thing here. When I have guests on, we either try to make them feel extremely uncomfortable, which I usually nail, and then we don't really do interviews per se. I play a game called Question Wheel Roulette.
Yeah.
And it's basically a random spin. We ask a question, and we are going to kick off this show getting to know you guys. So
Answer the question.
You
We're gonna
can't handle the truth.
we're going to spin here. It's going to land right on me, and I'm going to ask Kevin a question.
You make the rules. That's what matters.
It's my show.
It's my show, my rules.
First question for you, Kevin, to get to know you. What would you charge to wash every window in Seattle?
What would I charge to wash every window in Seattle? If I got to do it nude, it'd be free.
Okay. Seems like a lot of work, but
Yeah.
Seattle, if you're listening, we've got a
There'd be
nude-free guy.
prints- there would be prints on every window. There'd be prints on
If
every
it
window.
me, I'd have to thrush forward to make sure there's any prints.
The only,
I have a
the
feeling.
only bad thing is my son lives in Seattle, so I won't do his windows.
Well, to be fair,
I'm
right,
sure a lot of people's sons live in Seattle, and I don't.
But
think,
my son's the only one that counts. Okay.
Before the show, I was out. Oh, there he is. My co-host is joining us. I was going to say we could do the show without him, but I can't do that. Real quick, while we're live, we join him in. Let you guys check him out once he gets on here. I've already got it connected with audio. We'll see if he nails it. What's up, TJ?
What's up?
Well, we're already going live. We did a little bit of intro. We started question wheel roulette. My first question for Kevin, one of our guests, was what would he charge to wash every window in Seattle? So we're just trying to get to know him a little bit better.
That's a lot of windows.
What have you been up to, buddy?
I was hauling major ass to get here in enough time.
Well, you did good. You said 7:15 and you were 7:08, so that's not bad at all.
Record time.
Yeah, the guy, the owner of the hotel here, as soon as I walk in, he just hands me my keys. No paperwork, no nothing. Just rock and roll.
Celebrity you're the guy that works at your hotel best resembles?
Smaller, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. So you're loving that. Whenever you walk in, you're like, hell yeah.
I mean, he's pretty ripped, but like Stone Cold, I guess.
A 5'8" Stone Cold?
I'm thinking midget.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be better if you had like a dwarf Stone Cold, man.
Yeah, he's like a 5'8", 190-pound Stone
Well, we
Cold.
need some cover art for this show coming up, so if you can get a picture of you beside him by any chance, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Well, TJ, we'll let you get a question. Well, hold on, I got to spin it randomly.
Answer the question.
Hey, TJ, do you have any questions for Josh?
Sure. What's your favorite Ninja Turtle to draw?
To draw?
He's done it several times.
Get into the mic. Scoot that mic up to you.
To draw.
Yeah, see, we have those area mics because we're always.
I almost dropped one off the ceiling for you guys and turned it up loud so you guys were used to it. But I had 10 minutes. Come on.
Well, I also sing in a band, so I'm kind of used to this.
Yeah.
I would say Michelangelo.
Okay.
Mickey.
Who did you want him to pick?
Well, I guess I should have said character.
Yeah,
but
I kept it rules.
Because I would have said Bebop or Rocksteady. Those are my
All
favorites.
right. See, he was the rest of them. We talked about that on the
Not
show,
the
too.
Krang. I love the Krang, man.
Well, we just did Casey Jones. We did that one, and it's still
Yeah.
setting.
Really? No bidders.
Well, we haven't really been showing it either. We didn't show it the last show.
I mean,
Last show we didn't sell anything, so it doesn't matter. But
So what have you been up to since the last show, TJ, other than I seen you on Saturday when you came help me? Hold on. Actually, I got to get to that real quick. Today's show sponsor, the Geo Ripper Hand Trencher and Amazing Green Landscape, for donating the Geo Ripper Hand Trencher for us. TJ's a big, I don't know, he's 6 foot tall, 230 pound. I made him operate that machine to save my back. So thanks to the Geo Ripper. I don't know what you're doing there, but you're disappearing.
Well, I was trying to turn lights on because it was too bright behind me. Yes, I'm not going to lie. I was actually pretty sore. 2 days later, I was like, what the fuck? Why am I sore?
How long did you ran
I
that thing for 15 minutes?
So tell us exactly what happened, okay? There was moles, ate the cable. That's all I know.
So basically, I came out. We had
That's
essentially the story. Last Monday, I came out to do the show, kicked the air conditioner on, kicked the lights on, got the cameras lit up, came over here and kicked on Zoom, and it said no internet. And I said, what the hell? So I picked up my phone, no internet. Started looking, okay, is the modem bad? Or router bad? So I check it out, run inside real quick, plug it in. It works inside. So then we're still 20 minutes before show. I think I can figure this out. I just start ripping line out of the ground.
Yeah.
Get to one end and back to the other, find out mole had chewed through it. I bought line that said, do not put in PVC. It's underground cable, not to be, it don't have to be in PVC. Yeah. But they did not say mole proof. So out here in the sandy desert we call this area, moles live heavy. Yeah. And they ruined our show. So skip forward a day, then another day, the line shows up. I run it all. I got it muddy, apparently, so it wouldn't work. I thought I got a bad cable, scramble. We go inside, do a show last Wednesday. Come to find out cable was fine, just Coach Casey's dumb. So
let it dry out, all good.
Yeah, actually I had to get some alcohol. I watched a little thing on cleaning up the connections, cleaned it up, plugged it in. We got a show. So I scrambled, pulled everything in the house to then realize I didn't have to. So then we got it all set up. Now it's buried in 3/4 PVC from the house to here. There ain't nothing they can get to. If they get to it this
Encased in
time,
concrete.
yeah, I mean we put barbed wire around it and an electric fence wrapped in it and buried that thing. So
Just need to get Bill Murray out here.
Well, that's what I felt like I've been lately because I've been out there just waiting by them. Like I'm gonna get one of them for running my show. I'm a vegetarian, by the way. I don't hunt. I don't kill stuff.
No, they taste terrible.
Yeah, but I don't want to kill. I don't want to taste it. I just want to shoot one of them to make me feel better about all the work that we went through to do a podcast.
Just give him a spanking.
Yeah, something like that. It's hard. You don't get a hold of a mole real easy. You need a basset hound to catch them, or you need just catch one picking their head out and then shoot it.
Have you ever seen those old mole traps?
Yes, I had some
they are
planned.
Medieval torture devices.
Yes.
They're fucking, oh my god.
I set out like the bear traps all over the yard, and then realized I have 3 dogs running around. I better pull all those in real quick.
Why's all my dogs yelping for?
Episode of Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny.
Well, we didn't do it last show, so I want to say thank you to all the vets, all the military man after this Memorial weekend. So I want to thank everybody for letting me not have to go to the military, smoke my dope, and be a hippie, So I appreciate all you military men out there.
I will admit Mondays are a little tough because I go around town. I usually go around the state. This year I didn't get to because I don't trust my truck. But I usually go around honoring all my buddies. And I just lost 2 buddies. Was it this year or last year? Can't remember now. I'm getting old. I think I lost 2 last year that I was in combat with. Both of them died here. But one of them died from a heart attack, like a week older than me, and the other one got in a motorcycle wreck. So,
well, you don't get to choose the way you go. That's what I've always said. I would choose the motorcycle wreck over the heart attack if we were choosing.
Unfortunately, I'd have to count on my hands and toes, count on my buddies that have been killed in motorcycle wrecks since we've been back. So,
well, I've had a few myself, and then a few that have I would call them motorcycle wrecks, but it was drug related, and then no motorcycle involved. So,
Train wrecks.
Sorry, not a good segue, So what everybody, TJ, what'd you do for your Memorial Day? I tried to get you over here. You didn't want to come over. You were too busy riding, 4-wheelers and UTVs with your kids.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Sunday I drove 700 miles, got my kids, came back, and then hung out with them yesterday, and then only to leave them today. You want to know a funny fact?
Yes, I'd like to know a funny fact because I haven't been very funny so far.
Yeah.
If a summer is 10 weeks, what do we think half of 10 weeks is?
2, right? Is that's what your wife
correct.
thinks?
Thank
okay.
You.
He's going through
Just so we're clear.
This guy pays more a month in child support than I make a month, and he gets to see his kids 3 to 4 weeks a year. So he has a complaint. Yeah. We could go completely into the system. Oh, yeah. The other side of it is sitting here in the studio is a guy that takes 100% full control of his kid and doesn't have the help. So it's definitely different.
We won't talk about my military retirement to my ex.
We can get into it.
He's been complaining about it.
Oh, yeah, it's pissing me off, but what can I do?
What else you been up to, buddy? How was anything else going on in your world?
That was pretty much it. I got up at super early this morning and was here by 7, and
you got anything to contribute to the show today, or did you just come in to sit on the TV screen?
we can talk about wrestling whenever you're ready to talk about it.
I knew. I figured you were going to want to get in that, and we'll have to do that here pretty quick because a bunch of things happened. These guys, I don't think if they watch any wrestling, that's okay. They can learn a little bit along with us. TJ's a big WWE fan. It's his art. So in this week was Night of the Champions, and a lot of things happened. So we'll have to get into that. Just before, go ahead.
I miss Skin Man. I haven't seen him in like 3 weeks.
So. I know he hasn't been coming. I told him you weren't going to be on the show tonight, so he's like, "Heck yeah, I'll be there."
Sign me up.
Retract my statement.
That's fair.
No, he's been very busy, man. He's had a lot going on, and we're glad to have Skin Man back. He's been out. It has been 3 weeks, I think, since he was on last show, too. Something like that. So it feels like a year. So it's good to have him back.
I know all about that. Mr. Kevin's got ferry business. So.
In fact, I got ferry business in 2 weeks.
Well, see, ferry business outweighs podcasts sometimes, I've noticed, His is usually family business. Maybe a couple fairies involved. I'm not sure. We don't pick our family.
But that's a professional troupe too, so we get we get stage money for it. So
there you go. Yeah. Well, listen. You're getting paid more to do that than I'm getting paid to podcast. So it seems like it's. I'll take a paying gig whether I got to dress up. I mean, I dress up as a fairy daily and don't get paid for it. So, see my new hairdo, guys. You got anything? You got any stories or anything you want to talk about, TJ?
I don't have anything pulled up because I was in a mad rush.
All right, that's okay.
I didn't even bring my computer up.
Oh, I got this.
Oh, look at there.
Oh, hold on a second. We'll go ahead and give him a news story and see if. Oh, I don't even know how to run this board no more. News.
You know, I have a smaller version of that same board, and I've played with it at home, but I've never used it for live stuff at all because I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
I'll teach you how.
Contestants chase cheese wheel down a hill in Chaddock, UK race. The big cheese of extreme UK sports events is back. Hundreds of spectators gathered Monday to watch dozens of reckless racers chase a 7-pound, that's 3 kilogram for those across the other pond, wheel of double Gloucester cheese down the near vertical Cooper's Hill near Gloucester in southwest England.
Have you guys ever seen any of this stuff? Did you watch that documentary on this?
I didn't watch the documentary. I've seen a lot of videos, and I can't stop watching.
I know.
The only time I hear about a cheese wheel rolling is from
Z Nation.
Z Nation, and it catches those cows, and the cows going moo, 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 and there's all these zombies and cows stuck in that big cheese wheel that's just rolling down the highway.
That's my favorite zombie series.
Z Nation should have lasted longer than the other one by far.
If it's popular, it's not gonna. You guys know that.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. If we like it,
yeah.
The one that was popular made it. But it was Z Nation.
Skin Man, go ahead.
The first racer to finish behind the fast-rolling cheese gets to keep it. The cheese rolling race has been held at Cooper's Hill, about 100 miles, 160 kilometers west of London. Since at least 1826, the sport of cheese rolling is believed to be much older. The rough and tumble event often comes with safety concerns. Few competitors manage to stay on their feet all the way down the 200-yard hill. And several this year had to be helped limping from the course.
So what would it take for you what would you chase down a hill? Because cheese doesn't do it for me. We thought about when I said before the show, if somebody threw like a brick of freaking pot down there, I'd be just like dive off and do that roll. Like it would even, you watch those guys, they're doing like the slide thing down it. Yeah. I'd go head first, tuck and roll, man. I'd get down there and be waiting on it to come to me, you know.
It would have to be a lot for that.
Like a wheel of $1,000 goes down there. What are you doing for $1,000?
I mean, I'm old now. I wouldn't go down the hill at all.
You wouldn't?
No, I mean younger days it'd be chasing the girl down.
What if it's 100K viewers on your podcast?
That'd be a big barrel.
Then I'd be a YouTuber, wouldn't I? That's another thing. The kid, she watches these stupid YouTubers do all these stupid things. I don't consider us YouTubers. We're not. We're
really
old.
not.
Yeah.
We're old,
No, we're podcasters. It's different. Yeah. We're not cool enough to be YouTubers or hip enough.
Yeah.
Or dumb enough.
It surprises me that I got this little tag all of a sudden that says digital creator on my stuff just because I'm always posting memes of the Far Side.
I guess.
Canadian contestants Delaney Irving, 19, won the women's race despite being briefly knocked out unconscious.
That would be your best bet. Cow. I want somebody to hit me and then push me down. I'll win. Yeah. Don't brace yourself. You go a lot down when you're too tense.
I just remember hitting my head, eh? And now I have the cheese, said Irving, who comes from British Columbia. Matt Carolla, not the car, 28 from Manchester in northwestern England, won the first of several men's races. Asked how he prepared, and he told reporters, "I don't think you can train for it, can you? It's just being an idiot." He's trained all his life.
I was going to say, I've been training most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
In a younger day, I would be down that hill in a heartbeat. But
man, I'd still go down.
Nowadays, it's more like the end of a Benny Hill show.
I just need something to motivate me was all I would need. I'll go down a hill. I'm good at that, like tuck and roll thing. TJ, what would you go down a hill for, bud?
Probably monies.
Monies.
Yeah.
A year child support paid.
Wipe me clean, I'll go.
Well, is there any more to it, buddy?
Oh, that was it on the cheese.
The big cheese.
So I bring up the chasing down the pot down the hill because I'm now 16 days clean, okay? I'm going on over 10 years I haven't been 16 days clean. So we have an ongoing thing where TJ, have you still stayed clean from yours too, buddy?
Yep.
So TJ's now 16 days clean from Mountain Dew, and I'm 16 days clean.
That's his vice, Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and I'm 16 days clean from being anxiety relief.
Yeah.
Where did those two compare to each other?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't do 16 days of anxiety relief.
But you could give up 16 days of Mountain Dew, right?
I don't drink
a lifetime.
any Mountain Dew.
I
Yeah.
know. What about you?
I was raised on Mountain Dew, so it's
there you go.
I couldn't go with that.
I replaced it with Monster drinks anyway. So
Skin Man,
What was the question?
what would be the hardest thing for you? What do you think's harder to give up, pot or Mountain Dew?
Oh, Maker's Mark.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
well, this is my
Good
trumped all of us right there.
This is
yeah.
my question for you two. What's the hardest thing minus maybe a hard drug or an addiction that we don't want to get deep into your skeletons that you've had to give up? And Saturday was National Masturbation Day.
Oh, so I'm good on that one then.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
certainly
Since it was
can't
Masturbation Day, I'm covered.
give that up.
Oh my gosh.
Hard,
Sanity for
a long time.
For a long time.
Okay.
Due to people I let in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as artists and as trying to be public figures, you know, I think you talked about it a couple episodes, the cancel culture. I mean, just
Yep.
kind of got to walk a fine line or either say fuck it. I mean, either way,
Well, that's kind of what I think.
there's anxiety to it.
I think the first probably 10 shows I tried walking this fine line of I don't want to upset people or whatever, and then it kind of became the fuck it, you know, like, you know, it's what's up fuckers, you know, I don't care, you know, and like this week was a prime example. I've started becoming more like TJ on Twitter. My first and most hateful experience lately I got was on Twitter. There was one of those things like one's got to go, okay? And it was most people hate, or the most hate I've got on social media. And the picture was Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, and Whitney Houston. And it said one's got to go. And I said, one's already gone, you know? And so that was an easy one for me.
So you just responded to a
just responded
somebody
to
else's
that.
post?
And like 40 people literally came on like, you have no conscience. And I'm like, neither does she. And then one guy's like, you've got a real problem. So did she, laying in bathtubs.
Died from cocaine.
Well, what was
I know
I've seen
people just can't have humor anymore in their lives, and it's just
well,
like,
that's
wow.
not humor anymore. What there was a bulldozer backed into the sand pit today.
Uh-huh.
The water. Okay, I mean the news didn't specify. They said a water rescue. They didn't specify whether they were rescuing the bulldozer or the man.
I would hope the bulldozer, but
Of course, somebody had to be more specific, you know. And then and then they just slew. You know, it's cake news. You know, I'm like, what the hell? And these people.
oh, it's the
I gotta get off here.
I was gonna say
I've
the
lost-
comments on any
Wow,
story are
that was close. We almost lost an $80,000 machine.
Yeah.
that's where I would reply lately is the bulldozer okay? You know, because that's something I can relate with. I don't know this guy. I've rode a bulldozer before. You know, that's the easiest thing for me to relate with.
My favorite is when you hear people that just solely hate somebody so much, but they've never met them outside of what they've seen on the news and stuff. It's like, how can you hate this person? You don't even know him.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not like what he's saying, but you can't hate him or her.
I
or
can.
it
I can.
or
I have the
they.
right to, as an American that self-identifies as a Mexican, I can hate whoever the hell I
Well,
want.
I get that part, but still, you never met him. And it's
No,
funny.
and that's the thing. If you hate somebody on a news broadcast or something like that, you should hate yourself because you know they're all actors. Because they'll be on CNN one week and then Fox or
Right.
whatever. You know, I don't care what you're talking about in that sense, but it's whatever they're getting paid to say and whoever audience they're listening to. Like me, whenever we do one show, we do one that's called the Right Wing Show. Man, I'm the best Republican you'll ever meet. But when I do Between Two Leftists, man, I'm all about, oh.
Yeah, it's just amazing because like mine right now is because the NBA playoffs is going on.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's about the only time I see any emotion come out of these NBA players.
Yeah.
And they're all dumping on LeBron James. I don't necessarily like him either. He's a great player and stuff, but if you really dig down deep into it, he's got all these charities. He gives all this money. He helps out people left and right. Of course, he better. He's a freaking almost a billionaire.
Yeah. But he don't have to.
But all these people are just hating on him,
Well, there's a two sides to that thing, and like even TJ and me have had this conversation many times, and I think since we started doing this show, I don't want to say 180'd on LeBron, but he's like 45'd on LeBron because
No, I still don't like him.
I know, but you,
I don't like him either.
but you
but
respect him as a player and that he's not as bad dude as they want you to be.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that is a product of social media. If he would just stop talking about things nobody's paying you to talk about, then he would, but also he's going to have that thing where the Jordan versus LeBron thing. So if you're a guy 40 or below, you're a LeBron guy. If you're 40 or above, you're a Jordan guy. And
I'm a Rodman guy all the way.
there you go.
Yeah,
See,
also-
I'm a Pippen guy.
You got to also. He started out at 18 playing pros, making millions already. So he's never had a chance to truly grow up.
Yep. But he did come from what I would consider, and I don't know his money as a kid. He obviously had some because he went to a private school, but I think that was more. He grew up in an area in Akron that you would traditionally consider a pretty rough area of the world.
Yeah, he would never been able to play college back then because he was already getting paid. I mean,
he was getting paid since he was 12. I mean,
and that flat out, he was groomed.
now
for
he
all
could
that.
play though and be fine,
I know.
So it's amazing how the world's changed on that. Yeah. Well, since he brought it up, we'll get into my NBA update real quick. I have been kind of involved in these playoffs a little bit and was excited to see the Heat win last night. They're going to get killed by the Nuggets. There's really it's going to be the worst, probably lowest viewed and 4-0 finals. But it was cool to see a 8 and a number 1 seed make it. That tells you the East is pretty weak, but I get invested the same way. I watch. There you go. I watch a little bit throughout the year, but come playoff season, and this year I became I got into LeBron just to. I wanted him to win just to shut up the haters. Dude at 38 carrying a team and doing all that, still statistically a freak, but then he looked 38 the last couple games of the year and proved, he needs a lot of help. So that was my NBA update.
We'll get to the wrestlers soon.
We're going to wrestling right now because TJ is he only came on the air to talk about wrestling. So. I killed it quick.
Oh yeah, because
You just made the list.
He's got that thing. He's got it. But I don't know if you play it, you better be paying him.
Yeah, that's the thing with that one. That's the one that we could play almost everybody's music. We can go live, but you play that sounder and you are gone. Yeah. So I figured out we can do 4 seconds of it without getting kicked off, and that's all we do. TJ, update some people. So pretend you have 2 guys in this room that don't watch any wrestling, don't have a clue what's going on. Okay, pretend there's 4 people in this room that don't watch wrestling or have a clue what's going on, and then me. And explain Night of Champions to me.
Well, we had Night of Champions, which was in Riyadh, which is in India, or Saudi Arabia, I mean.
Wow.
And,
sorry.
WWE gets paid quite a bit of money to go over there.
I would imagine.
These sultans or whatever the hell they are pay a lot of money for that shit. So we had basically Night of Champions.
Would you roll a Saudi down a hill and chase them for their money?
Yeah, no shit.
Just for what's in their pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah. What falls out?
The oil falls out of one pocket, the gold bullion out of the other one.
Like Scrooge McDuck's, but stinkier.
Yeah.
And all the multi-million-dollar cars along the highway because they ran out of gas.
Yep.
I'd be running with a gas can. Here we go. I got myself another new car.
So we picked some matches, and I remember most of what we picked this weekend. So you start from the beginning, and we'll see where we're at.
Well, let's see here. Natalia and Rhea Ripley.
I picked Natalia.
This is and you were wrong.
I know both
you
you guys.
Natalia to be different.
I know. I knew who was going to win.
Rhea Ripley won that. That was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Then the Raw ones where it really happened at, because we would have never guessed that.
Yeah, that one was the one that got me, and you texted me that one right away because
Yeah,
my
well, I
girl,
actually
the most
forgot.
beautiful brown woman in WWE, Bianca, lost her title this week.
420 days she was champion.
Man.
Lost it
What?
to
And I can't say her
Asuka.
name still. What's her name?
Oh, I have no idea.
Asuka.
Asuka.
She probably knows, but she would excited about
So,
it.
so I lied earlier. I said pretend you're saying it to 4 people in the room that don't know wrestling.
she probably
It's
knows.
3. We got Joe sitting here, and she knows wrestling. So you keep going. She's the first time she's paid attention to the podcast is while you're talking wrestling.
All right. Then we had Intercontinental Championship match. Gunther versus Ali, Mustafa Ali, and that was Gunther, which
And
we didn't really care about that one.
No,
either.
I picked Mustafa because I figured maybe because they were in Saudi Arabia he would win. But I heard, and that was probably the biggest ovation of the night was for him. And maybe because he's Muslim, maybe because his name is Mustafa. I don't know. But
I think Sammy probably got it. But
Okay.
then we had a World Heavyweight Championship match. So for the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and Seth Rollins beat
Seth
AJ
freaking
Styles.
Rollins.
I hate that. I hate that.
I like it. That's the only reason I like him. I want to call him Seth freaking Rollins.
I don't know. That wears on me for some reason.
Well, with
Then
his
we
new
had-
dress attire, he is the freaking Rollins. So
I did see last night on Raw. He came down through the crowd, and
was he shirts or blouses this week?
Oh, dude, he was blouses.
Okay,
dude.
he's-
cut down,
he's all
cut down to
blouses.
here.
Yeah, he's all
frills.
blouses. He's definitely when they play shirts
Yeah,
versus
he was on
blouses.
Prince's
He's
team.
on Prince's team for damn sure.
He was on blouses all the way, yeah. But I saw him, and he was like coming down, and there was like an older, like I would say a grandma, bigger woman, and he took a selfie with her while she was coming down. It was pretty funny.
Hell yeah, he
Just
did.
blouse all open.
Just say Skin Man's type of girl. Thick.
Well, what
Well,
ruined
she's a little too old for Skin Man.
what ruined wrestling for me was the women. I'm sorry.
You know what? We agree. I agree with 90% of the time, but there is about
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. There's about 3 or 4 or 5 of these girls that now are technically sound and wrestle very well. And on these events, you get to see them. So you get a Trish Stratus that knows her moves. You get a Bianca Belair who is 10 times more athletic than anybody in this room and could power slam anybody. Well, besides maybe Kevin, anybody in this room. Sorry, Kevin.
I grew
She's
up
probably
believing
good.
that
She's
wrestling
freaking
was
strong.
real,
Hey,
right? I loved it when I was a kid. My dad, and my dad and my grandpa, we went, it was
Yeah.
great. But then you realize it's reality TV. It's a soap opera.
So it's a lot like
and so now
every
I
other
just can't get into
sport,
it. And then
like
they
all
added
the shows
women,
you
and it's
watch,
even
like
more dramatic. And then my daughter's trying to watch it, but I'm over here like, why?
But
I don't want my
that's
daughter dressed
no.
like that.
That's
doing
why
that.
they're doing it though, to attract her,
know.
to attract to the everybody,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And it's an all-inclusive sport. Keep going, TJ. We'll cut you off about 6 more times.
Where were we at? Oh, and then since you did say Trish did beat Becky.
Yes, she did.
Which-
I told you she was going to win that one. They're trying to put
Who
her
had
over.
that?
She's going to
Just
be
you?
the. What's that? That was just me
you?
that picked her. Yep.
Okay. She got some help though, and then Brock Lesnar beat up on Cody again.
Did you see
Oh,
Dustin Rhodes has been going after Brock, and it's been awesome because I actually like his new character on AEW, and I've really enjoyed the new Dustin Rhodes. Woo!
Yeah.
But he's
So
not.
he
He's
made
not
him,
coming out of the gold dust. That was my favorite one.
No,
of his.
he's not Goldust right now.
No, he's not.
I used to love that.
He hated that character. He said that ruined wrestling for him. He never, he hated that character, and that was one of my favorite. I love Goldust too, man. I like face paint though. I've always been a face paint guy. Sting,
Well,
Ultimate
He had
Warrior.
to get away from his daddy though, so that got him away from his daddy's image.
Yeah.
What else we got, buddy?
So Brock made Cody pass out. So he didn't tap. He passed out from
Okay.
Kimura.
They're still trying to leave because now they're 1-1.
God.
They're still trying to set up Cody to get that title very soon.
I don't know.
He's going to get the title within 2 main events. And you can take that to the bank.
It won't be Roman's. It'll be Seth Rollins probably. Then let's see here. Roman and Solo versus
This is the
Sami
one I
Zayn.
can't believe you didn't text me about. And I called this one. You kind of called it too. I thought it would be Solo that screwed him, but we knew it was going to be interference. And you said that
Yeah.
the Usos were going to turn on him. And
Sure as shit did. Jimmy
Super
did
kicked
you
him
watch all that?
twice. I seen him.
Yeah.
And that second
First-
one when he was on his knees, man, I've
He got
never
him
been
pretty good.
happier to ever watch somebody get super kicked than watching Roman get kicked in his stupid face, man. Roman Reigns is his favorite wrestler. So he's the guy. He's been champion for what, 976 days straight?
No,
13 years, 4 months.
It was 1,000 right there.
So he's still champion. He was going for the tag team champions in this one
Yeah.
to become the dual champion. And of course, they couldn't let him just lose regular. So the Usos, which are his family, stepped in. And man, that I don't know, that Jimmy Uso super kick is pretty badass, man.
I wonder if they
Yeah, it
got
looked pretty good.
Do you guys like rent your time? Is it like
Say
time
what?
slots? Is it like time slots? You can be champion.
No, I think
No,
it's
no,
who
no.
sells the most, man, or who pisses people off. So the way they work champions, it's not always about who's the favorite. It's they'll constantly tune in to watch him lose, or you're a fan of him. So it's if people are still tuning in why guy's a champion, they're not going to take it off of him, man, because you've got half of us, like me, the casual guy, that would do anything to see him lose, and you got the other half, the guys who are the hardcores that are like, well, he makes the perfect sense right now. I mean, who else is going to take it off of him and all that stuff?
Well, and
So-
also, if you back in the day, if you pissed off McMahon, you were done.
Yeah, and this new
Yeah.
Triple H thing, I think McMahon was a huge thing. I kind of figured Triple H would make his mark by taking the title off of him, which I still think is going to happen.
Just got to find the right time.
So what else? Was there anything else, or was that was the last fight?
I mean, it doesn't really get any bigger than the Bloodline turning
Yeah.
on each other.
But
so-
we've seen it happening over, 4 events now? You watched,
Yeah,
I mean, it's been
just
going
little
for
bit,
a
little
year
bit,
of
little
him.
bit.
Yeah, him tearing them down. You watched, Sammy split off. You watched the Usos already be on edge, and then you got Solo, who's almost took one of the Usos' heads off last time,
Well, I bet Friday somebody's going to be getting fucked up for
So
that.
this is my perfect segue. Speaking of Solo, Saturday was National Masturbation Day. Did you celebrate?
I celebrated, didn't even know it was a holiday.
I did not have to. I was raped upon arrival at home on Friday.
Okay.
So.
Man of the weekend. So I listened to a show going in this morning, one of my shows I listened to, and there was these weird statistics like it was something like 30% or less of men admit to doing it daily or every other day. 30% admit to doing it once every 10 days, and 40% admit to doing it. Well, actually, it was like 20% is once a month, if less, and then there was 10% that said they don't.
They're lying.
I would say that 80%. I would
is a
say
little
80% of people are liars, is what I would say. And then
It's more of like a, go to the bathroom, wake up, go to the bathroom. And
yeah, do your
business,
you know what?
man.
Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom, or whatever. So that led me into.
I'd hate to get calluses on my hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got to keep them strong. You don't want to let them go too long. So that led me to the most unique place. Either you've been caught or caught somebody.
I don't think I've ever caught anybody doing
You've never caught anybody doing it?
Oh my God!
I
got
caught
a story on this bigger than crap. Okay,
Joe, you got to step outside for a second. No.
no, there's no. We're in Iraq.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a staff sergeant then, so really freaking busy.
So you had people to do it for you.
Yeah, sort of. These guys they decided that every country and every fob there's a group of them, about 4 or 5 of
Yes.
them. They're going to leave their seat.
Hell
Every damn
yeah.
fob we went to, and we did a lot of patrols. So I'm not sure, probably about 20 or 30 fobs, desert, sea, everywhere. So probably you'll see, those camel spiders, which they showed, which were fake, that were that big. They're probably that big now.
They're growing babies off their back.
Yeah. And it was a big thing of contention for me, because I remember me and the first time were like, what the hell? Okay, don't tell us, guys. Just don't tell us what you're doing. It's just Because I come up to guard tower and I'm just wondering, should I even touch anything? And stuff like that. So
Well,
like,
just don't lick it, but I mean, just don't lick it. You never lick anything in a bathroom anyway.
Oh, I was talking about the guard tower, not the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I
You
said
don't
guard
ever lick
tower.
anything in a guard tower
These
either.
guys weren't doing it in the bathroom. They were shooting it out into the desert.
There you go.
There's a pretty limited things, a list of things that I would lick.
Okay.
Not very many.
And nothing in a guard tower?
Nothing in the
Yeah.
car. Well, I mean.
Okay,
unless-
exactly.
Unless you're
So
up there,
you never know, but
unless you're
nothing
up there
like the wall.
dedicated.
So
to
did
guard
you
tower.
ever catch any of them in the act?
Was it in the Army?
You're in the military,
yes. Actually, this happened at basic training. I go in to take a shower, and there's a guy that's got there before all of us, and like 4 of us walk in on, and we're like, okay, we'll hold off a few more seconds for our shower. We just told him, make sure you clean well because we got to share the same damn shower with you.
Well, that's why I started in high school. I always wore the flip flops in the shower because I
Yeah.
assumed it was like
Well,
prison
you
in
have-
there. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, you
I
have
just
to.
assumed it was like prison. You know.
You have to, but you don't want to grab the soap or something. There's stuff on it. So.
Well, I've told the story on the show where in 7th grade, a group of guys thought I was a group of guys that I thought were my friends. Apparently, snuck up to my window one night when I was celebrating the last Saturday, and I go to school and I went through this whole, oh, Casey's gay. I'm like, why? I was thinking about your mom. Like, what? I don't get how that makes me gay. I've never understood that. But mine would be when we worked at Suburban. We had a. You remember Aaron Spear, correct? TJ?
Me? Yes.
I walked into the bathroom, and there's only a few reasons to stand forward in the urinal. And there's only a better reason that Casey, I jumped there. I said, what are you doing, dude? And he goes, I'm peeing. And only Casey would then jump right over the thing and say, hard to pee, hard, and jump back down, And this was like first thing in the morning. I mean, it was like 7:30, and I'm like, hey, man. He came out, and he's like, I think I'm going to go home. I said, dude, everybody gets their day started a different way. I do coffee and energy drink. You do you, man. Like, don't feel embarrassed,
There's been the very rare occasion, a work and has been needed. But, hey.
I've never done it ever I've done it on the clock, but never in like a work setting. I owned my own mowing company for a bunch of years.
Right there at the cubicle.
Yeah, So TJ, have you ever busted anybody like your mom, your dad, or anything weird? Anything
Have you
No,
made it
definitely
into
not.
the next cubicle?
You were
No,
roommates
no.
with a buddy. Did you ever walk in on any of your roommates or anything like that?
No.
Have you ever been walked in on?
Like a 3-point
No.
shot?
I remember the first time my wife ever caught me, and we were 24, 25, and I thought I would have cheated on her because she came out and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "You were asleep," and she's like, "You could wake me up anytime." I said, "You freaking remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?"
You don't want me doing this.
That was when the nighttime making love started, where because she goes to bed earlier than me, and so there's just some different things that you listen. You don't want to catch me, then you're going to be involved, So, Skin Man, I know you've been busted so many places.
No, I have the best hiding spots.
Yeah, like you lift the forklift up to the top of the thing and do it up there. That's not a good hiding spot. That's actually called towering.
No, it's normal. I'm the only one in the cemetery.
Okay. He does sneak away to the cemetery a lot. We wondered about that the other night when you called us from there.
I'm about out of time. I'm going to call you right back.
All right, call me back, buddy. This is the fun of Zoom. And my mouse is asleep. So he's back. See, he's quick. He's got pro with this. I thought I had the volume turned off so it wouldn't ring through like that, but I don't know technology, guys.
Apparently not.
It's trying. There he is. TJ.
Yep. I'm back.
All right. Before we move on, let's Skin Man, you've got another story for us?
Yeah.
Dude.
Wait a second. Where's this Skin Man thing?
I did. You weren't here. Here, hold on.
Can I hear it?
Skin Man, villain in disguise.
That's better.
They're so much more professional.
Well, then if we're gonna
professional at all,
do that, then we might as well get your sounder in there too. Hold on a second. I know how to do this. It's
Why am I gay? I don't know. It's just all this stuff.
Skin Man.
An Indiana.
Start over. Let's hold on. Let's do this one more time. Reset this. Hold on a second.
Skin man, villain in disguise.
An Indiana man is dead
There we
after a
go.
grenade found in his grandfather's belongings exploded.
I miss you, Grandpa. Here I come.
According to a post from the Lake County Sheriff's Department, officers responded to a call from an explosion before 6:30 p.m. Saturday night in the community of Lakes of the Four Seasons. Yeah, that sounds like a movie.
Sounds like a place. Yeah.
One of those movies. The family was looking through the grandfather's
I
belongings.
think the original title was Brokeback Mountain.
Ooh.
When they found the handheld explosive device and it went off. Damn. Someone reportedly pulled the pin on the device and it detonated.
Who's the somebody? Him? Grandpa? You wouldn't have left me a real one.
Well, the sheriff said
Wrong.
stated that.
It's hard to know who because there was just pieces, you know?
Responders found...
Well, I'll say he was torn to pieces after his grandpa's death.
Yes. Moment of silence.
Oh, go ahead.
That was it.
Responders found an adult male unresponsive at the scene and was later declared dead. The man whose children, a 14-year-old boy and an 18-year-old woman, were wounded by shrapnel and transported to a nearby hospital. The
Time out.
investigation is ongoing.
Next time, could you say something like his gerbil and his donkey? You know, not kids, because that takes the fun out. No.
According to the FBI, some families have unexpectedly found explosive devices in the belongings of their parents, grandparents, who were military veterans. Some veterans brought back explosives as souvenirs from World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, and the Gulf War. Authorities say anyone who
Good. I wasn't in the
finds
Gulf War.
a grenade or other explosive ordnance should move away from the device and call 911 immediately. Not pull the pin or light the fuse.
Yeah, no shit.
So what'd you bring back, Kevin?
I'm going to have to look through my house and check again.
So many things.
Well, the funny thing is, if it's a hand grenade, there's so many safeties on a hand grenade. Okay, you pull the pin, but there's a spoon, and then there's also a safety on the pin, and there's even the old World War II one. Well, maybe not the one, but World War II ones. There's so many things that set off that fuse. So
It sounds like somebody
who
pulled
did
it and then threw it.
Someone who didn't know what they were.
Release the handle.
Someone who had probably never handled one before didn't realize pulled the pin, that spoon goes flipping off. You got 4 seconds or less. You better get rid of that bitch. So,
Well, I, there's probably worse ways to go. I just currently can't think of one right now.
Oh, I mean, fire.
Well, some guy said today they
Burnt to death without
I was going to say there used to
explosion.
be some honorable
Spoiled.
death and dishonorable
Yes.
death where they would like put you on top of an anthill and tie you up, and then
yeah.
literally the ants would eat you to death. But it was like a 5 or 6 or 7 day thing before you would actually die from it. That seems pretty horrible. But at least okay, I can't come up with a good one for that either.
I think that would be worse.
All right.
No, I
Explosion
can
would be pretty
probably
quick.
talk about worse ones all day long because
We're gonna
that's what you
do-
do in the Army.
Well, we don't want to get too more. We'll have you back on for our military segment and try to take it a little more. I'm not very good at that either.
I've never been
Are
to
we still on
Yellowstone.
TikTok or have we got kicked off?
I don't know. We're probably kicked off. TJ, tell us if we're on TikTok. No.
I just looked. We're on there.
Heck yeah, we are. We haven't went too. I haven't threatened anybody or made fun. Well, we have made fun of a lot of people. We're gonna do a round from all three of us. A question for the guests.
Answer the question.
Skin Man, do you have any questions?
Yeah, what's for both of you actually? What's do you like or dislike the still life painting?
Like doing still life,
Right.
or is there one in specific?
Like the classic bowl of
It
fruit.
becomes background for us, or for me anyway. It's background.
Okay.
I mean, it's a filler or what, like my coffee cup.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tool in the beginning to learn.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were rating rating paintings, how would that 2018 RFL champion, where would that rate at?
Well, who
My
did
wife and daughter painted that for Skinman when he won the Racist Football League championship.
Then that's the greatest thing ever.
All right.
If you painted it, it's
What
probably not.
about Callie
If
strolling
I
back
painted
there?
it,
I got both of them up. Can you, if you look back here, I got both of them up because I was trying to get you to get the girls in the studio this weekend. Both of his daughters, she was, how old's Callie?
9 and 7.
So she was 8 when she drew that one and 6 when his daughter drew that. These are renditions of me.
Well, I thought about putting Joe's name on all of my paintings and like, hey, Joe painted this.
Oh, you'd make a lot
and
more
sell a
money.
lot.
Oh, so much more.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite drawings is for my kid when he was 4 years old. I was drawing a dragon, and then he was copying me as I did it. But he made this big fat, because I was just, I was doing the circle thing, and he did this big fat dragon in the flame instead of going out. It looked like he was blowing snot because it was dripping down. I still have that one in my house somewhere. I think it's in my archives of stuff, so it wouldn't get ruined.
TJ,
Answer the question.
you got a question for the guys?
Yep. So who's been growing their beard longer? Because we look like we got some pretty good growth over there.
I started mine in 2013 when I retired from the Army. I haven't shaved since.
Haven't cut it or trimmed it or anything since?
Maybe once or twice because of Captain Spaulding. I had to keep it down. Now I don't care.
What about you? When was the last time you truly cut yours down?
Well, I think you
Not a
probably-
trimming.
Okay, but he needs to elaborate a little bit.
On Captain Spaulding? Yeah.
I know exactly who you're
You just
talking
never
about.
know
You're
what's
talking
going
about
on.
from
Mine,
House of a Thousand Corpses, right?
Yeah, House
Captain
of Thousand
Spaulding?
Corpses, 3 from Hell, and Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Sid Haig.
but like I said, I quit shaving when Dad passed away.
Okay.
So I was 2016.
So that was.
I mean, I've trimmed.
So I've been longer, but I kept trimming it because of the Captain Spaulding stuff. Okay.
So mine was similar. I've had a beard at least since my dad passed away. My dad always had the big giant beard, and up until last show, I had a beard about his length, and we did a face by face. We'll do another one here real quick.
Well, I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
He's definitely beating me now. You see, look, here's mine. Here's his.
About your dad. Like I said, I mean, we grew up together.
Yeah.
And
well, we didn't grow up in the same house, but we grew up in the same area.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was at your house all the time, and I think I remember seeing your dad once. On my 22nd birthday, I decided to go skydiving with Mark Lawrence. He just did a pontoon boat. This is totally off subject. But a pontoon boat with a Volkswagen bus.
Okay.
Fucking awesome. But we go skydiving, and, we went out to Kingman. It was your dad and your uncle, and everybody was out there. And your dad was on the radio, talking me down. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But it was pretty cool.
Nothing better than skydiving and having a stone motherfucker talking you down like, how high are you? Bet you're still not as high as me.
Well, Mark didn't want to partake before, and I'm like, I'm going to the car and partaking.
There is no way I'm skydiving sober. I can guarantee you that. There's zero chance.
I wouldn't do it again.
There's zero
wouldn't do it
chance,
again.
and pretty much you're having to push me out of that plane. I got a serious one for you guys. I haven't done one yet. Where do you guys find most of your inspiration from? Or what inspires you?
Well, money.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you're never going to make it in art if that's what inspires you. And I think we talked about that on your show.
It can still inspire you. Just doesn't mean you'll get anywhere with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Don't quit your day job.
But what creates, what inspires you to keep going? I mean, through, the tough times, through the going to a show and not selling. I mean, it's just the love of it, right?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, same reason why we podcast when nobody listens and nobody
exactly.
cares is because we love doing it.
I know on our show I love doing that because we're always, it's either he and I or someone else mixing, and you find out someone else is actually a damn good artist, like Sir Charles, man.
Yeah, he was good. I watched this.
He
I liked
he put that spin on it, and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, I
really
watched.
like
with
this.
the on the end on the horns
he
there.
started the moss. He went
He put all the moss. He spent
Yeah.
probably 3/4 of the
Oh,
show
yeah.
putting the moss on there, man.
Kevin was looking over and just kind of hopped into the seat
no.
like, I wanted to go. I want to paint.
Yeah, that was the longest.
I was just really enjoying what he was doing.
That was the longest I've seen you guys let somebody go without Josh saying, "Move out of the way, I'm taking over," or Kevin going, "Dude,
Yeah,
I only came over here to paint. This podcast is. I'm just here to paint, okay." So
Well, I think
Well, not everybody's as fast as I am too. I'm really fast. I'm known for my speed.
I don't know. Ask my wife. I got pretty good speed, bud.
that's what you said.
That's what she said.
No, I think
Well, I got a 3 minutes.
we got 100
scribbles I can do.
Okay, freaking quit bragging, bud.
Yeah. So 100th episode will be July 16th.
Okay.
I think we're gonna do like a big cookout.
Okay.
And maybe a two-hour show.
Invite some of our acoustic friends over.
Okay.
People that have already come on and painted, just paint session bullshit.
So you guys are all invited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know when in. We'll definitely
And
come.
we'll invite you too, Joe. Okay, then you're
She's
not
the
invited.
boss.
Yeah,
Just
you're
stay
just
up
there.
The host. She's the host.
Got to stay up in your room.
Yeah.
You guys have anything? You guys had some stuff coming up this Saturday. You guys wanted to plug. I'm gonna make you wait to the end of the show to plug your shit on my show. Okay, so you're gonna have to sit through our bullshittery. Now let's get your
right.
plug. What do you guys got coming up this weekend?
Sunset
Yeah.
Fest.
See, I screwed up.
Okay, where's it at?
Augusta somewhere. Middle
Augusta
of Augusta.
somewhere.
It's
Okay.
an Augusta address, but it's in the country before you get to Augusta.
Room Green Productions. If you go on and follow him, Josh is 10 times. I've been trying to talk Josh into taking over our social media and our posts because he's awesome at it. I know you don't get the respect and the response you want,
24/7.
but you are by far of any of the.
Yeah.
I mean, you kick the Joe Rogan guys' asses as far as getting content out there, and you just got to get followers. And we're the opposite. Me and TJ will make a TikTok here and there. TJ's way better than me. He tries to stay religious once a show, getting a TikTok up.
Yeah.
I do some shorts and some reels, but it's just time. It's doing
kind of
it.
I do more of the physical presence for a lot of stuff we do. I mean, we both do the physical presence.
Well, looking at you,
but-
you've got a physical presence, Kevin.
But I literally get out and do the physical presence
Yeah,
a little bit
he's-
more than he does. He doesn't like doing live art like I do, and
I don't like it, but
I do it constantly.
when I'm
though.
out, I'm I don't get to get out much.
Yeah.
So when I'm out, I'm working, and I'll paint. We painted some weird shit Saturday.
I love
right?
what we did. I don't
Yeah.
have no clue what it was, but I love what we did last.
We had
Saturday.
a little bug he had drawn in the corner of this
Carrying a piece of
poster
pizza.
board, size piece of carrying a piece of paper, and he'd had some other shit on
Yeah.
there, and he'd painted over it, and I was like, well, we got to have a pizza, it's got to be a pizza.
So I painted this big yellow or orange. What was it? Yellow?
Green.
Green. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember what color because we can't see our colors half the time when we're painting
Well, it's
anyway. 'cause
dark.
it's
It's
so
a
Well, you guys are both
Dark.
colorblind, so
Yeah.
that also doesn't help.
I'm deaf. I can't hear the colors.
He
So
started. I painted
Room
this
Green
circle.
Productions and everything's in red, but sometimes you see different colors.
He
You
started
know.
painting all these weird lines and stuff, and I started adding mine. And
It came out pretty good. It's a weird
Yeah.
one.
Well, I think that collaboration art is always cool stuff because it's multiple people's idea on a canvas, and that's you. One person goes in it with a view of it, and then somebody else screws that view up.
Oh,
So you've
yeah.
got to change your view
it's
of what it is.
It's really hard for beginners because they're like, you just painted over what I just did. No, you were just helping me layer.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now it's got more depth
but
to
then
it.
you go over what I just did, and then you add all these weird layers, and all of a sudden sometimes you got a way you're following, other times,
Got poop on a canvas. But
yeah, basically.
that also leads me to my next question. Have you guys ever used bodily fluids to do art with?
I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna be lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fecal or pee-pee? Or number 3?
Blood.
Blood. There's four. There's 4 involved.
That's-
Probably all of them.
Okay. All right. Blood,
Some
sweat,
by
and tears.
accident.
I was going to say
Some by
blood, sweat, and
accident.
tears is what goes into everything we do.
Whoops.
Yeah.
We'll go in reverse order this time. We'll do another.
Whoops, that's right.
We'll do another question around the room, and
Those are
then we'll
stars.
finish up with a couple things. If you had to guess, how many watermelons would it take to fill up this room?
2075.
The world's largest watermelon would fill it.
Ooh.
I like that one. They're both wrong. It's 17 big ones. No, I don't know.
I've never seen the world's largest watermelon, but I saw the world's largest pumpkin. It was like bigger than this room. It was huge.
Did you see it in person or on the internet? Because be careful on the internet, guys.
There's a thing called Photoshop.
Nah, that was real.
Skin Man, you got a question? I feel like they were here and we didn't really give them a lot of questions. That's okay. That's how we do our show.
Well, I
Just whatever happens.
I let them pitch some shit,
I always ask all the guests the same questions.
Thank you. I've been waiting.
I was too.
I know.
What was,
That's the only reason I do this is for his 2 questions, and he didn't do them.
What was the one song was like, okay, yes, this is my genre of music? this is what speaks to me.
What song makes you hard, I think, is what he's trying to get at.
No, like when you were growing
Should I go
up as
ahead
a
and
kid.
just start singing it? As a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, just what got you into music, I think.
But it's like, okay, this genre of music is what, and then you stuck with it all through your life.
And you can't say Howard Stern soundtrack. I knew we no.
Yeah. I want you to want me. I was already.
That's
in love
Cheap
with
Trick, man.
It is.
But how that Howard Stern check made it so I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was their resurgence, I think.
There's been so much music probably in both of our lives. I couldn't tell you.
Because
it keeps changing.
Mine was It's a Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll. That's
I
the first
don't
time
have
I ever
one
heard,
genre.
That's
I've
the
never.
first time I'd ever heard
But
bagpipes.
is there something that you listened to as a kid that you're like, with your dad and you're like, play that again? Mine was Cheap Trick, or, some of that, Cat Scratch Fever was mine, and I don't even like that dude now. I could identify as opposite as the world could with that crazy fucker, and that's still one of my favorite
Swan
songs.
dive from the 100th floor.
Yeah? Mine
Well,
was that.
Steve Miller Band,
Okay.
Joker.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, I was probably 10. Nah, I was probably 15. And like I said, I was a late bloomer for any extra crash, extra.
Yeah, I was already
stuff.
I was involved and got you involved.
Yeah,
and I was 4 years younger.
You and Yeager. And but I was like, Dad,
I was the only
what's a
11-year-old.
toker? And he just kind of started laughing. And he goes, "You'll find out soon enough, son." Regardless, I never had to ask that question again. Ow. Just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, we're listening to the same song. Dad, what's a toker? I'm like, I'm going to tell you the same thing Grampy told me.
Me. Oh.
You'll find out
That's
when
funny
you
because all this
soon
music,
enough.
all this music you guys are talking about came out when I was in high school and college.
Well, that would be a time that you're probably the most influenced on music, right? I mean, because the young stuff for me, listen to my dad and stuff, but it wasn't truly like, of course, mine was either lighter shade of brown on a Sunday afternoon. If you Google it, for the audience on a Sunday afternoon, and then was the Doors were my true. I mean, my brother, Beatles too, but my brother put on this Doors soundtrack when I was like 8 or 9.
When you talk about what my dad, it was probably Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good, but on the back side was My Dingling.
There you go. See?
Silver Bells on a String. But then they also
Yes.
had Captain and Snill, the Muscat Love.
TJ, you got a question?
But my mom was also a concert pianist, so it's just all over the place.
All right. So that explains
I've never
a lot.
really answered that question for Skin Man. Mine was, my parents were young teenage parents when I was born. So I was born in 82. So they listened to a lot of 80s music, like
White Snake.
No, not necessarily 80s rock, more like
Kenny
80s
G.
pop. I guess more like my mom. So like, I
Michael
remember like
Bolton. You were
the
Flock of
giant,
Seagulls.
the speakers, that parents had
Oh
in
yeah,
their house, like
the Pioneer
5 foot tall.
15s. Yeah,
still have 'em.
I still got them out here too. Yes.
They
I
were
remember,
listening to Michael
like,
Bolton when you were conceived.
jamming to that kind
Kenny
of
G.
stuff. And I still listen to 80s music. And like I said, I've been on a big Tina Turner kick.
He's a
and then
Gloria
when she-
Stefan guy like nobody was business.
I don't like Gloria Stefan, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Paula Abdul.
I guess
Yeah?
my question would be: is I'm pretty big into movies and TV, and has there been a TV series that either one of you guys have watched that you've watched repeatedly, more than 2 or 3 times that you're currently watching now or whatever? Like for me, I'm almost finished with Sopranos for probably the 15th or 16th time.
Yeah, I did 2 or 3 of those. I watched Sopranos 2 or 3 times.
Mine's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just so we're well. And I'd love that Kevin is on your ass about this, Mike.
It's totally the opposite on our show.
I
gotta
know,
tell him,
but
you
I
gotta
am
stand here, Kevin.
I am so
He's like-
I'm gonna have him over here for guests from now on.
Because with the mic, like I said, because I'm singing in my band, I'm used to this.
Yeah, he
but-
loves having the mic up there.
Yeah.
I love
But
a
he always
round
has
thing
it
in my
hanging
mouth.
so everybody else can hear and stuff. So I'm just like sitting back talking normal, and you can barely hear me.
Okay, anyway, we lost track. What was the
I love
fucking
watching
question?
dudes
Movies,
pound other
series.
dudes, man.
Yeah,
Movies
Sopranos.
or TV shows.
Oh my gosh. We used to be forced to watch the Wizard of Oz every
Yeah.
year when it came on TV because that was just
It's on
we had the 3 channels.
3, 10, or 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was always a big event. So I've probably seen that 1,000 times, but also
What about The Wiz? Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it.
Way better.
Anymore, I don't really. I'm usually late because we have a bunch of people where I work at, younger people that watch a lot of movies, and I have no clue what they're talking about. I mean, I just
like
recently,
a Yellowstone guy. You like Always
I've
Sunny
not
in
even seen it.
Philadelphia,
I've
Seinfeld,
not seen any of those ever. I've seen
Simpsons.
Yeah, no, the Simpsons you can rock all day.
Here's a good
I've been
one.
rewatching
Russian
that
Doll.
one. Rush
Right.
Limbaugh.
Russian Doll.
Yes.
I've never seen
one.
that.
Yeah.
And then that Harry Nielsen song is stuck in my head. I gotta listen to. I listen to it.
I go through a little time period when I'll watch
Nielsen's
MASH every once in a while.
Oh,
See,
God.
my two were
Especially the original movie.
my two are
yeah.
and I
Suicide.
The Office. I've seen every episode probably 10 to 15 times. I don't know why, because it's like that mind-numbing just comedy.
Yeah.
And then I'm Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've seen probably every episode.
Like I said,
10
that's
plus
one
times.
I've never seen anything.
Well,
I think
the MASH
I've
soundtrack. Oh my
I've seen
God.
parts of Sunny, but I've never seen the whole thing. So I walk in.
TJ's the
someone's
same
watching
way.
it.
I've been trying to get him into it, and he just says, no, I use iPhone. I can't watch stuff like that.
I grew up watching MASH, but I didn't know. Do you know this? The lyrics to the original.
No.
Suicide is painless.
Is that what the song is? Do they?
Yeah.
But they don't play that. That's not what it says during the thing. It's just
not the TV.
Yeah.
The original movie, I guess, came first, and
Yeah,
they
the
won.
original
and
movie,
they,
it does
and
have
the
that.
song was written. They like make it the most depressing song in the world, and so that's what they came up with. It's the same happy. The music sounds so fucking happy, but then you listen to the lyrics. It's,
So there's a whole wing of people, TJ included, that are now boycotting MASH because they have a transvestite on there, and
They do?
so with
Singer?
yeah, so with Target, Bud Light, and MASH are the three most boycotted items in the
Well, and that's-
Republican era right
That's
now.
kind of why I started talking about it, and we were doing TV intros for the Saturday podcast, and I was like, MASH, that's a great one. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm just gonna go do this because suicide's painless. It fucked me up for a couple days.
I can
listened
imagine.
to it constantly because I was like, it was like the train wreck. It's like, what is going on?
Well, heck, I'll have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah,
I just
Spotify.
Googled it. And
Dad
it said it
sang
was
it when I
written
was
by
8
a
years old.
14-year-old in 5 minutes.
Really?
How do you do that and not even move?
I don't know. He's frozen on there. I don't know what he's got going on.
I thought he was really, really.
There he is.
attentive.
He's back.
I just thought he was
There we go.
really, really
No,
attentive.
he actually. So you guys do art and you do the fairy thing on the side. He's a ventriloquist.
Oh, is that
So
it?
sometimes he can talk without. I do want to apologize again for.
Oh, man. he already knows. I lack of a better word, I don't care.
No, I'm just
Because you
messing.
can call
Dude,
me anything you want because I know what the truth is.
listen, bro.
Fairies
I'm a
wear boots.
listen,
And I'm a
bro.
fairy and I wear boots.
I'm a let your freak flag fly guy. So there is literally, I don't care, man. I seriously don't care. I like to mess with everybody equally.
Of course, most people are taken out of context because.
Well, yeah, it's gonna.
Well, if you walk around and say I'm a fairy, people are gonna take it out of context.
But I'm not lying. But that's their problem if they're thinking other things.
No, I don't think I equate the two pretty equally. No, I'm joking.
Actually, what's
talking
happened
like-
too? We're one of the few groups that actually has two very bearded fairies, right? And we're definitely men's men kind of thing. But we actually got what we're doing is we're getting these boys to follow us because they've learned that.
Are you grooming them
No,
to become fairies?
no, I don't groom anybody for anything. I'm grooming him. I only groom people that's over 40. But
Are you talking
literally,
about fairies like off of True
literally,
Blood,
literally
like fairies
there-
on that?
There's where it was like it was always fairies and unicorns stuff because the girls got other things, but it was always for boys. It was just something.
Yeah, it was supposed to be wizards and warlocks for boys.
and, and you don't really get all that at those Ren fairs so much. You do to a point, but not like you do with the. And now you got these because I'm a warrior fairy,
There you go.
and a protector of the forest and blah blah. I got a whole title I could go on.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sure it's got me.
Give us your title.
I'm sure we've lost a lot of views to me saying, "Oh, Kevin's got fairy business," and
Oh,
I'm not
no.
explaining it.
No, I think that you've actually probably gained view. Well, you've lost some, gained some.
Well, I had somebody.
TJ, before what were you saying, buddy?
Oh, I said the fairies from True Blood, different.
Never seen True Blood either, so I don't know. What you're talking
Okay, well they had fairies on there, and they were more like.
Tough ass ones.
Well,
Yeah.
if you read the actual Brothers Grimm and what fairies, which was the true
Yeah.
fairies, they go around kidnapping kids and children and blah blah blah.
So the grooming
Yeah.
thing, I was correct. No. Sorry, you
we've
guys
become-
thought
we've
you were
become
coming
the-
here for your serious podcast. I'm very sorry.
I didn't.
No,
I knew you didn't. He didn't know what to expect.
again, don't care.
Look at it.
I mean, it's like I'm going to go with the flow. I always have. I mean,
Well, we appreciate it.
We're professionals.
I'm 1 year closer.
Look it up.
I'm 1 year closer to get all the senior discounts. I only get part of the senior discounts now. So I only get the 55 and over senior discounts. Next year I get the 60 and over. Well, there's some 65 ones, but that's usually almost dead
So
anyway.
that means you're buying cheeseburgers now?
Darn right. I'll be on buying for you.
Then.
What's the strangest art project either one of you have ever done?
We've done some together.
Did it involve the Floods question back?
I do.
Wow.
Now you throw one.
Well,
now
it's just
I throw one.
It depends on what you
Now
consider
throw
strange.
one.
Because what's been strange in the past isn't so strange to us anymore. So, I mean, I've done some body painting.
Okay.
I've done
Dudes or chicks?
both.
Okay.
Gosh, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean,
What's something that you just got done with and go, wow, that was pretty weird?
well, all of them recently. I kind of, that's
your
that's my jam now.
That's okay, man.
If we go in without a plan, we never know. Because we have that one that was that bee thing with the poison dripping from its stinger and that hand reaching like the hand of God reaching down.
Yeah. Did it sell or did we paint over?
I think that one sold.
I don't know.
See, what you think will be strange is what some person, that's where I said, when you guys are dead and gone and you're famous finally.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's no longer in my collection, so I don't know if it's in yours.
TJ,
Don't know.
you got anything else before we
Yes.
get out of here, buddy?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
What's the largest thing you've ever painted? Like
Joe, go other room. I was going to follow up with the smallest. Would you paint?
Like ball or anything like that?
You guys ever done any murals?
Haven't yet.
We did a sign for a bar, but that wasn't very big.
Yeah.
We've done bigger pieces on our own.
Do you guys would you guys like to do murals, or is
we
that
want
just?
to. We've tried to, but they keep falling through. So
What if I gave you guys a side of a building, one side or the other? You guys want to do something weird for me?
Yeah, we could even bring out extra artists. If we had.
Well, we
to.
might have a project for you guys then.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something like that, and you guys can come out, or we can do a show out here while you guys have people over in pain. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And heck, I'll pull some shit off a wall and let you guys have a wall in here too. I'm always looking for something different, mainly because Conrad's doing art now, and I got to one up him.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
gonna say,
But
I
definitely
felt
let us
like
know what you
Conrad
want, so
coming
we
in
can-
today.
what's that, buddy?
I was gonna say I felt like Conrad coming in like fucking just walking in dirty, sitting down and doing a podcast.
You nailed it perfectly. This is the best podcast you've done in a long time. No.
Except for I don't have a big ass head.
You just tell me you're God and it'll grow, buddy. No.
Just get real close to the camera and you'll have a big.
Yeah.
He was gonna say most of this show.
There you go.
Most of this show, you've had a big head.
Yeah.
I think it'll
I
look
do
pretty
like-
cool on the playback. We all sitting around, we're watching you in the middle of the screen, and then these guys can actually see you on here. So,
Cool.
well, buddy, I had fun. We'll talk to you later. I'm gonna do what do you want me to go out? Well, I'm gonna go out on my intro for these guys.
I appreciate these guys being on our show.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Good man. You got anything before we go?
I got nothing.
Thank you for coming over.
Well, I was due.
Thank you guys for coming.
I love
Joe,
his news.
sorry you had to sit through that. We appreciate you being in our audience.
And I
We would appreciate a little more hooting and hollering, clapping, things like that next time. But other than that, you did wonderful.
She knew the wrestlers, and we didn't. So there you
That's
go.
why I said that was her favorite segment. Her ears perked up, and she was involved the whole time. So now we have somebody to call. TJ, we'll be calling Joe during the shows for wrestling picks.
I haven't watched wrestling since the 8th Wonder of the World, and this guy here, literally in Iraq, people are doing this, or no, in Africa when we're doing patrols, these kids are running around doing this to us.
You can't see me.
Yeah.
You can't
So
see me.
that tells you how big wrestling is. They're out
Well,
there.
if I had one message for everybody, it would be
So just chill out. Drink a 7-Up, eat a moon pie, quit murdering people.
And I'll finish with this. Throughout my life, I've done alcohol and I've done marijuana. I'm a product of the 60s. And I can assure you, I've misbehaved far more on alcohol than I ever have on marijuana.
Boobies aren't things that give you milk. Boobies are things that kill you.
Have a good day. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.